Hey, everybody. So, second try at my executive summary presentation here. Um, First try, I was about halfway through at 6 minutes. So, first and foremost, program evaluation summary. Looking at that big checklist for me was always kind of daunting. All the data that we have, where do I find this? How do I get a hold of this? It was nice to be able to get in there a little bit, to read it over, and to just force myself to get after it, force myself to look in there and say, oh, hey, where's this at? Now, I've been through a 339, so I have everything laid out. But it's not as organized as I'd like it to be. And that gave me some insight to say, hey, I'm doing the floor stuff well. I'm managing the kids well. I'm teaching the HVAC well. But there's a lot of administrative stuff on the back end that needs to be done well as well. Looking at the SIF saw crosswalk was cool. Looking at my figuring out knowing that I'm a high priority occupation and understanding that my level of education on those crosswalks and in that data is post-secondary plus. And so that is higher than any other construction program in my wing, which is awesome. I've always said that our knowledge is what sets us apart in HVAC. And I've driven my curriculum to that, and I've driven my standards to that, and I get a lot of pushback. To be honest with you, not going to go into detail, trying to save time, but I do get a lot of pushback in that. Hey, they're kids, just give them a hammer, just give them a torch, let them braze stuff. I push consistently for theory and for understanding and for conceptual knowledge, and it was nice to see it from an objective point of view confirmed. The stakeholder insights, the tool that I created to give to my OAC members was wonderful. It made them able to physically give me feedback. Yes, we talk. Yes, I write things down. Yes, I have minutes, and that's wonderful. But they felt like they were engaged. It was the best meeting I've had. They felt like they were a part of it. They felt like they were actually with me working toward a goal, as opposed to I come in, ask them a question, say okay, and then they leave. So that was wonderful. Perkins alignment implications. I learned where that money's going, why it's going where it's going, and then I started thinking, okay, how can we get some of that in here, right? How can I utilize this Perkins funding for my program? And I already have some wonderful ideas on how to do that, and how to apply or how to be eligible for that type of funding. So the PDCA cycle, Plan, Do, Check, Act. At first, I was like, all right, we'll do and act are the same thing. I don't understand. But I started to understand when I broke things down how to implement that. I'm now working on, because I want to utilize that forever for everything that I do when it comes to that improvement, because I'm always improving, and I think I should be really organized with it, and I think that it helped me. So Plan, Do, Check, Act right now, long term. I've got a lot of long term stuff that's like, okay, well, we'll plan this, we'll do this, we'll check it here. Then next year, we'll see how it went, and we'll revisit like that. That's where the act is at over the summer or in the fall next year. I want to figure out how to bring that into like small sections and how to make it Plan, Do, Check, Act 2 weeks. What I've utilized here to make sure that I'm giving enough information for the presentation, I've utilized Nocti. Nocti was everything that I kind of measured myself with to check with. We can use this summative assessments at the ends. I don't do a ton of summative assessments that are on paper. I do a lot of summative assessments that are physical. Which are really up and down, right? I mean, kids are different. I might have one kid great at sheet metal, wonderful. I did the same thing. I teach him the same way. I say the same things, or I'm trying to meet him where he's at. I'm trying to reach him, in the place there where he is, and it's just not working. And now this is going to give me a tool to try to say, hey, let me make a controlled change. Let me activate that change or implement that change. Let me see what it's looking like. And then based on those results, let me change something else again or adjust as needed. Curriculum and safety alignment. So my safety, I want to update my safety. I want it shop specific. Now I'm HVAC specific, but I feel like a lot of times, because safety is such a standardized thing, safety has to be standardized. Safety, OSHA, right? OSHA 10 is not shop specific. It's OSHA. It is generalized information that will apply to multiple different situations. I have that. I have my generalized refrigerant safety. I have my generalized things that everybody uses, that CCAC, everybody uses. I want to make something for me. I want to make it so that we know specifically my shop. and I have little things like, hey, this is a sheet metal break. Here's how these are the checkpoints, and this is the answers, and they fill out those forms. But I want to get a little bit better at that. And I know I'm running over time yet again. Oof. So curriculum alignment, I'm on the money. We're doing great. I got guys in the field. I haven't had a lot of people complain. I teach a lot of conceptual stuff on residential equipment that allows them to build a commercial, as opposed to building on that commercial where I come from and then having them kind of drop back down, which has been going really well. Equity and access considerations. So equity, I think I do wonderful at. Access. So we talked. I gave in my assignments here. We talked about students buying tools. Kid goes out and buys $2,500 worth of tools. He's going to be able to do a job a lot faster than the kid that only got a $500 or a $50 tool bag. It just is what it is. I don't know how to kind of combat that. I got the best tools we can afford in here, and we're just going to keep trying to grow with that. Equity is important to me. Equity is where, like I said earlier, I'm going to try to build relationships with my students, figure out where they are, understand where their mental's at, understand where their head's at, and then reach them where they are and bring them to where we want to be. Collaboration initiative. I mean, I'm working right now with my sheet metal contractor right down the road here just reached out to me wondering if we bought a new Pittsburgh machine yet. And he's saying, hey, I got one. Don't worry about it. I'm going to bring it over. It's great. We're going to get it fixed up. So we're working. He's got one of my guys working for him right now. He's had one in the future or in the past. I got two other kids out on co-op right now that are doing well, that are loving things. It's going well. Everything seems to be working well with my OAC members in the industry. Working with my teachers is always great as well. The welding program here does a banquet. I'd love to get into that now that I'm getting further into my career. And I'm meeting with him talking about how to build that initiative and how to build that community around the program. Just kind of chatting with him over lunches and trying to see what I can pull from picking his brain. The 12-month implementation priority, one high impact action step for immediate implementation. So overall, when I wrote my capstone, I was doing the boiler system, right? We're bringing the boiler system. We're doing the hydronics. We're going to check that over the year and make sure that we're hitting that. Something else that is going to be immediate implementation is, and when I say immediate, it's more like next year, like when the fall comes. I got 3 weeks left. Is going to be safety. Like I said, those safety exams that I want to update. I want to update all my safety stuff. I want to bring it to the forefront. I want to make it a large priority because it seems like it's gotten stale. It's gotten like a checkbox, and we just go ahead and then we move on. And I really want to revitalize what I do with my safety. Get examples, bring tanks out, bring ladders out, everything that I do. Honestly, that I used to do when I had smaller numbers. When I have larger numbers now, doesn't happen as much. We get through the safety. Everybody got it. Good. Sign here. Thank you very much. When I had 15 kids, we had extension ladders set up. It was wonderful. And I'm dragging on. I'm sorry. That's going to be the big one. Another one, and honestly, still dragging on, but I think it's really great. And it's something I learned from this. So I do want to mention it. Grading. Right, grading and looking at your program. When I looked at that PDE program approval checklist, I want to revitalize my grading system in everything that I do. And it has to deal with equity and access. It has to deal with curriculum safety alignment. It has to deal with credential and data improvement. It has to deal with stakeholder insights. It has to deal with everything. And it's all about that project and competency-based learning, utilizing competency assessments, integrated competency assessments to evaluate students, not based on their ability, but based on their competency. So if a student comes in and they have really trouble reading, I'm going to grade them in a way that is favorable to them, as opposed to just saying, well, you can't read this manual that's 40 pages long as fast as that kid did, so you get a D and he gets an A. That's not fair. It's not equity. It's not what we're trying to do. So that's a whole nother thing. That's something I'm working on, something I've been working on for months, something I've been working on for weeks, testing things out and pulling things back and seeing where I want to go. And I'm 6 years in. So I guess I should have it figured out by now, and I don't. But listen, I'm at 10 minutes now. If you need me to refilm this, let me know. Sorry for the length.